God, they're taking their time though.
Yeah, they're really running down the
Interesting.
clock on this one. They're trying to make their decision up. Make sure they make the right call.
And they really want an illusion kind of hero to work with the Shadow Demon though as well. Okay, so they are playing Course Fit.
We didn't want to see it. We didn't want to see it, but there it is. At least there's no Doom with Helm of the Dominator. Sorry, to eat his Helm of the Dominator creeps with that Devour.
They didn't really make this Beastmaster work from what we saw, but it was against Na'Vi. You know, Na'Vi are so strong at the moment. It's difficult to just say, you know, it won't work again.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden you have this like Shadow Demon Sven lane and like a Beastmaster Grim lane. Like your side lanes don't sound that good. Like the Bat Raider just owns both those side lanes, whichever one he gets matched up against. And if the Grimstroke ever goes with a stun, like with the Ink Stone against somebody, the Abaddon can just shield it off anyway.
Yeah, they've got a lot to kind of answer to what Colizeum are putting down. I'm worried, and of course, waking up the Primal Raw target is very, very good.
They need
Radiant team
something works with the Abaddon. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you look at the Radiant lineup, Radiant, it's like it's all burst damage, right?
Yeah.
Because a Raw, you need to kill somebody in the Raw. Sven's all about burst damage, trying to make the fights 4 versus 5 instantly. But this Wraith King looks super good. I'm a big fan of this.
It's a good Wraith King game.
10 seconds.
Well,
So
this
both
kind of
teams-
burst initiation, you know, Team Colizeum very much on the, you know,
5
jump in, kill you
seconds
quickly
remaining.
kind of vibe right now. They don't really want these team fights to be going on a particularly long time, and Wraith King does not care, and they don't have any mana draining calls. You know,
Dire
Sven's
team
not going to build a diffusal. He's a strength hero, so they're fairly certain in that regard.
I'm looking for an OD on this Dire side now.
Yeah.
You have to
the OD
save
is
against the
pretty
Raw.
brutal.
It's a safe laner as well when you don't know the opposition's mid. They could go for something like a Storm as well if they want something that jumps the backlines onto the 2 squishy supports.
That's where
But when
OD
you
get
don't-
banned so much
10
and very rarely gets
seconds
picked up.
remaining.
Yeah, it's but this game I think especially against the Sven as well. Like he has really low end game. He doesn't really build in items that much apart from the Echo Saber. So when that Sanity's Eclipse comes down, if the BKB is not on from the Sven, he will take so much damage.
Absolutely.
You can keep people alive in this burst damage instances that we talked
Dire
about. Yeah, there's the
Radiant
sniper ban.
team
Here it comes. The Deucer, there you go.
Oh.
Okay, interesting. I'm not 100% sold on this, but the good thing about this Deucer is that the Grimstroke and the Shadow Demon as the 4 and the 5 on the other team don't really roam that well. I mean, that's the problem with the Grimstroke as a 4 overall. That's why you see nearly everybody play it as a 5 now. So this Deucer should have a relatively free lane.
10 seconds
Like if she doesn't have a
remaining.
great lane, you can just go to the jungle anyway.
Yeah, it does have. It's a
5
little less
seconds
appealing, but
remaining.
still definitely an option for her. I mean, that's nothing which is going to stop a Medusa going to the jungle.
And it helps.
I
It helps
also-
quite the spin around as well, right? Like with the Stone Gaze too.
Yeah, and I think they would have picked it up against them if they didn't take the Medusa for themselves right now. Not 100% on that, but maybe it would have been a bit greedy with the Sven also.
Yeah, they could have. Like Lena's banned out now. Lena, TA, and Sniper are the 3 that do really well against Deucer. Like Razor's okay as well, but I'm not a big fan of the Razor pick here. Maybe OD for themselves. Okay.
Monkey at mid. Now this is a bit of a Marmite one. Either it goes really good or it goes, I mean, not really bad, but you generally like don't completely win the lane. And as a Monkey King, you really only want to be picking into lanes which you're really going to win.
How does the new Mischief work against the Mystic Snake? I know you dodge the damage, but do you dodge the mana steal as well? I assume you do.
Don't think
I
you
have no
do.
idea,
I'm not
though.
sure though.
So as long as you're not taking damage from the snake, the lane's easier, right? And you can just run the Deucer down. Like you have the tree dance to get on top of her while she's going through the jungle. It's also a diffuser builder, which you talked about before,
Yes,
which is really
yeah.
nice this game.
Very important to get that going on, especially when you got against a Medusa as well. Yeah, could
What
have
is
even
that
did something like the
Sven
Weaver just to stack
10
it up, but
seconds
it's the new
remaining.
one from the jungle.
It looks like a chopping board.
It's pretty cool. You should see it when he uses God Strength. It goes like swirly and red. It's pretty dank.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't got
Yeah,
the
I'm not-
modified version though, so you know, pretty low marks on there.
I've almost got my Dazzle set.
Yeah, I've
Almost
already got
there.
my Dazzle set as well. I'm not even a support player, but
That's because you just play all the support heroes in turbo games.
Yeah,
the way to go.
no, I said I was gonna play every single support hero at mid. That was my challenge I set myself in the jungle, and I have done so far actually. Kind of unfun
dying
snag a
mid.
siren. Yeah.
I'm dying mid. I'm so excited.
it's good stuff. Anyway, back to this game. Yeah, we're gonna have that Monkey King laning versus the Medusa. We already talked about that lane a bit. The Wraith King probably laning up with the Abaddon down in the bottom lane versus that Beastmaster and Grimstroke lane. So,
I mean, if they want to go,
DSR is actually the 5 player, I remember, and so it's probably gonna be dodgy.
if they want to go really crazy on Black Hornets, they could put the Brew mid against the Monkey King. And they do some like weird Batrider Wraith King.
Though.
No, I don't think you do either. I think you just want the Deuce's access to the jungle, but she should be fine. It's not a great lane for her, but she can always catch up. Oh no, lost his last match as Wraith King.
Oh, that's not looking good. It's not looking good. A bad omen indeed. Alrighty then, let's get into it. Game number 1 of this best of 2 series between Black Hornets versus Team Colizeum. As both teams heading up to their lanes. Who are we predicting for this game?
Oh, it's a tough one. I'm going to go with the Dire side, though. I feel like they're really going to struggle to get the damage off on the Radiant. Do they just disconnect every game?
Yeah, I don't think they have very good computers.
Versus Shadow Demon support matchup in side lanes very often.
Not too
Shadow
often,
Demon,
no.
not a very often picked hero, has to be said.
And they're going to go and play some drums. Nice. Look at them go.
So exciting. This is what I come to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very hype.
Oh no, the boars. But both teams just hitting the drums.
30 seconds to
They're just going to play the other drum now, watch.
Yeah, that's a real flex.
Oh, it's gone. This is a really high quality casting here.
This is pretty insane.
Say?
Yeah, this is. I mean, they're giving us the back. They're giving us the music. Come on, play their drum. Play their drum. He wants to. Can you play other people's drum? It doesn't look like they can. They're trying. Yeah. Wow. So.
Gaben, why don't you want us to all have fun together in a band?
Yeah. They should be able to play like a different kind of tune, and it'd be like a cool little duo between the two of you. Anyway, bounty runes are going to go 2 apiece. It looks like, actually no, it looks like I've gotten 3.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally pinged. But I was going to say the Wraith King managed to get a boar kill. Oh. So yeah, he got some XP, dude. This is big.
30 XP now. Oh, he's got 60 now. Jesus.
You can't give this man 60 XP.
Of the way through level 1. Oh my goodness. I mean, Abaddon's there as well, but the Wraith King is just sprinting ahead. Meanwhile, over in the middle lane, Medusa versus Monkey King. It's usual matchup. Not that common, but Monkey King starting things off pretty nicely with a couple of smooth last hits, and I doubt there'll be any action in this lane for the time being. Let's move down to the bottom lane as everybody's covered in that sticky napalm, but it does get washed off them by the winds of time. Time to Reap versus DSR versus Cheshire Cat, and of course LOL, who is pulling those creeps around, looking to grab some nice safe farm behind the towers.
I'm surprised Deuce has taken points in split shots so early on. I feel like, don't you just hold the skill point here or take mana shield? Because I don't know if you want to push the wave out. Maybe you do, just to upset the creep equilibrium.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're kind of flat out laning all the time, then it just gives Monkey King so much opportunity to just come and whack you a bunch of times, so...
I suppose so.
Oh, that feels bad when you have to throw the snake directly at the hero.
Didn't even dodge it, though. Come on, man.
True.
He has the Orb of Venom as well on the Monkey King, which is so nice for him. I do just miss twice uphill. That's she's going to be tilted already.
Yep, I would be. Completely understand that one. Yeah, struggling to CS really versus this Monkey to start things off, and things probably won't improve, but of course I will try to recover in the jungle afterwards as she runs away. This might be Jingu here. She tries to dodge it with the tree, but didn't quite happen. Yeah, under the tower, the Boundless Strike.
Oh, come on.
Is Undershock dead? Press 1 if you think that Undershock is dead. Press 2 if you think that Undershock's going to live. Congrats, everybody that pressed 1. You are magnificent super geniuses.
Monkey nearly died there as well.
Yeah, he did a bit.
I don't really like the Beastmaster said just unpaused as well. That's pretty BM.
Well, it's on his team, so
Even so,
yeah.
he just wants the Deuce to think about her mistakes just before she dies.
What did you do wrong? Now's your chance to analyze. So Plantimus just gonna farm up as best he can on this Wraith King.
This Monkey King has to be careful here.
Tries to turn around for the Boundless Strike, but doesn't get it off in time. Undershot just comes straight back to lane and kills the guy. Flat out murders him. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, they managed to catch the Batrider, going for a bit of a pull once again. Just bringing over the Sven, taking care of business. Always a risky move, because if Carry doesn't get that kill there, then he's in a really bad position. But he does get the kill, so all is well. They try and interrupt the block as well, pull across, and do it successfully.
How many times have we seen Monkey Kings get this big head syndrome, where they get a kill and then they think they're the best thing on the map?
Yep.
And they're like, they just
overvalue Jingu and end up just straight up dying. It happens. It happens more common than we'd like to admit.
Yeah, normally you say like it happens around the runes at level 1, which I agree with, but this time here it's a little bit different. And again, like,
Get the Jingu on the
gotta be
tower,
careful.
but he's going to take a ton of damage. The Boundless Strike comes in and heals most of it back up and brings Undershock down to his levels. That one was okay. We'll forgive him for that one. So he's still got the 2 tangos remaining as well. Can always swap those out and go for a bit of lunch. Dodgy interrupting the pull through as well. Gonna help with the lane equilibrium up here. Actually trying to level on the poison onto this guy. Disruption comes out, another poison comes down. Do they have enough? Not quite. 3 stacks isn't enough to finish off for the bad. Now we know.
Bot lane as well, Batter has managed to take away this big stack here, so he's dragging it to the left to stop them getting XP as well.
Yep.
That's really well played by him.
In the money, and hello regen rune. It's gonna be fairly
You
nice.
might leave for the Deuce.
Not on your life.
This is mine.
Yeah.
What I please.
I feel like this Batrider could be making more stacks as well, ready for this Deucer, or even just take it himself.
Ooh, that was a bad thing.
Come on, man, don't flame. You got to build him up before you push him down, all right? Is Smoking going to go for this?
He just loves getting these Jingos off. He's like, yes, get me that health regen, get me that extra damage. I want to destroy this lane. Oh, no, he's going to use 2 of them on a creep. Okay. Meanwhile, Dodgy, suicide on the tower.
Bot lane as well. They're going on Sven.
They're going under the tower here. 5 stacks, 6 stacks, sticky napalm. No purge down here. Time to reap. He's trying to turn around and get a stun off. Not gonna happen. Sven is dead. With a stroke of fate through onto Lol. That's doing a fair amount of damage. Can they close the gap though? Oh, DSR needs to find it. He's only got a stroke of fate to work with, and it's available in 1 second. Disruption coming down onto Cheshire Cat. I'll go for this kill instead. Stroke of fate now onto him as well, so they'll be able to get a nice long stun, hold him still, and finish the job with a poison. Textbook.
That was pretty nice. I'm wondering whether this Batrider goes for a bottle here. Like, does the Batrider go for a bottle because his Deuce is not going to be wanting to...
Bad miss by the Monkey King. Failed to dodge the damage of the snake there, and yeah, it's going to really cost him a salve, basically.
I told you, you're not allowed to flame. You have to build them up. Okay?
I'm just very toxic, though.
Okay, that's fair enough. At least you're honest. This Beastmaster, by the way, is owning top lane. He's doing very well. Go for that Helmet Dom build
doing
again.
all right. 35-9 so far compared to Plantimus's 29-5.
And I was questioning the SD, the Shadow Demon teleport bot in my head before, but with how well this Beastmaster's doing, he doesn't really need a whole lot of help. Like, the Abaddon can't really take him out of lane. The Wraith King's basically just 1v1ing the Beastmaster with the help of the sustain from the Mist Coils coming through.
Yeah. A couple of things to question in this game, but you know what you can't question? The comfort of DX Racer chairs. They are just supremely comfortable. They are the sponsors of the StarLadder Miner in Kiev. So do head over to the website if you're interested in buying yourself a new gaming chair.
You've got to support these sponsors, you know.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of talk about.
They're making this happen. They're making the tournaments come through. Meanwhile, Beastmaster getting stunned up and taking a lot of damage from all of his creeps, but trying to turn it around onto Plantimus here. Only 1 poison on him as it does get purged off by Archangel, but I still think Plantimus is in trouble. They're trying to heal him up with that Mist Coil. The creeps coming in thick and fast. 4 charges, not enough. They need a little bit more. They get the kill onto Archangel. Dodgy, though, he's getting a bit too carried away with this one. Coming under the tower. Plantimus now chasing him down. 2 stacks of poison. If he gets the 3rd one off, he's dead, but he doesn't. Mantima's trying to run
comes
away.
the
The paws,
creep.
they're blocking him, and there's the red creep as well. The tomato comes in, but he got level 6 from the kill. Can now come back to life and start up the tomato creep and maybe take it for his own. He kind of needs a crit. Nope.
Oh, it's
Mr.
close.
Tomato Man gonna get denied up, and we'll live another day. Actually, that was so close to the skeletons taking it. Imagine.
Yeah, and I love what Undershock's done here on the Deucer. Just give the lane to the Batrider. Like, you don't want to lane here against the Monkey King, who's actually left the lane. He's looking to hunt top at the moment. It just feels like it's a bit of a waste of time there. But they do have this vision that sees the Deucer coming across.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Could go for this here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Monkey King, he's charging it up. He's up on the trees. He's got the tree dance ready to roll. Undershock. That's going to be an initiation onto him with the disruption, but Undershock's a tricky target to bring down, but now with the Jingo coming off, that's going to be a lot more damage. The Mana Shield nearly ripped through. There we go. Balance Strike comes down. 2 more hits. Never mind. It only takes 1.
A Sven as well. Oh, poor guy.
Dire's
Was that
top
down
tower
at bottom
has
lane?
fallen.
Yeah. Alright. Well, you know. Kills across the map.
He did force a Wraith King TP though as well at the same time. And I think every time you can kill the Deucer this game, you're going to be very happy on the Radiant side. You know, it's the Monkey King's job just to...
Much better at bouncing back than Deucer, so you're absolutely fine with that kill. Drain.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, you've just got to... It's not the fact about bouncing back that... You know, she's the most important hero on the Dire side by a mile. Now, this Wraith King, although he gets a decent amount of farm for himself, you really want to be keeping that Deucer shut down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Go him and the skeleton boys out for a cold one. And the tower will not be lasting long. No response so far from the Radiant side.
Is under attack. Dire's structures
Yeah, this is really nice
Wild
though.
banishment in the trees. They're going for the Batrider this time. He's got the Firefly up, but they managed to kill him before he can get up to the trees. Cliff was not enough to save the day. Archangel tried to help him even with a miscoil as well, but it wasn't
Shadow
enough.
Demon,
And now the
right.
stun comes out onto the Shadow Demon. As everybody's just ditching him here. Dodgy left behind, and he will be felled.
Yeah, Undershot gets the last hit as well, which is nice. They need to just make sure they're securing this Deucer triangular farm here as well.
Dire
If you see Monkey King kind of hanging around at the moment, I'd like to see them place a ward down on the Dire.
middle tower is under attack.
Does Abaddon have any? Some in back in base, but
Yeah, they'll be coming eventually. Undershock, yeah, as you say, just wants to take to the triangle, the holy triangle.
and he's going to stack the camp there as well. Which is nice with him.
Nice. Always good to watch these, cute little plays.
I'm surprised he hasn't leveled up the Stone Gaze up against the Monkey King
Is
though.
under attack.
I feel like
Yeah.
you don't see it very often, obviously because you want the points to split shot and snake just to help you farm. But if there's any game you're going to do it, it's definitely this one. Look at this like deep radiant ward mid, by the way, just behind the tower. They see everything that's coming.
Yeah, they know that they're not afraid to take this tower, especially with the Beastmaster with that early Humble Dominator. He's had a good lane at top, and that will directly translate into a hard push coming out. But he's not the top of net worth. That one does go to Mr. Wraith King, who's strutting around. He's heading towards a armlet, in fact, very, very quickly.
Yeah, this hero's always had flash farm problems in the past, hasn't he? But with the new skeletons, they do huge amounts of farm for you in these early stages of the game. And he's actually going for the armlet build. Okay, don't mind this.
Again, just kind of trying to work alongside the Monkey King just to end the game as quickly as possible. Just both of them going for really mid-game heavy builds. I don't even think they want the Wraith King to make it to level 20 this game. They're not interested in that talent. They don't care. They don't care. They're against the monkey with Diffusal.
Oh, I see. Right. I thought you meant the monkey's level 20. I was like, what?
Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh right, no. The Monkey King wants to shut down the Wraith King before it gets to level 20.
Man, this Beastmaster's doing such a good job of just taking over the game now. We talked about it in the games against Na'Vi. They didn't really do it too well on this hero, but
Is under attack.
you know, that was just the Doom destroying the Beastmaster by himself, he felt like. But this game, he's doing a decent job.
And just tearing through all these skeletons, just coming right back again, one by one as well, so they can't be finished off by one big cleave. God, what a waste of time. 5 gold each.
I'd like to see the Dire to try and take a fight around this primal split now as well. I mean, I think Cheshire Cat might be going for Blink first. which is nice.
Monkey King. He gets caught out trying to get up his Jingu stacks. The wand is going to help him out a little bit, but not enough to keep him alive. Phantomos will crit himself pretty heavily there, but he can run away from his illusions fairly easily.
Yeah, this Batrider here is really difficult for Monkey King to deal with, especially when he has BOTs first like this. He's just running around at 412 movement speed. Top lane as well. This might be a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have Firefly up yet, but the Abaddon's sitting behind him. I was going to say, like, he can lasso you out of the Wukong's command as well, so it makes it really difficult.
Straight throws down the ulti. It's just, you know, still 12 seconds until the Primal Roar's out, though, so if they're going to try and already save plays, it's not coming in today, Grimstroke, as the blade comes down and Wraith King claims a life.
Batrider!
He's been chased by Mr. Tomato Man pretty badly there, but okay, Archangel will take it. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Cheshire Cat, he's going to have to go for the split here, but does manage to do so and dodge out the Boundless Strike.
That
does mean the spell's on cooldown.
Oh, I'm surprised I didn't go more there on the Shadow Demon, but the rest of his team wasn't with him. Oh, he actually went Midas on Brew.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Smokes up.
I guess as the Brewmaster might, if you know you're going to be fighting a lot and the Stuss is going to be taking a lot of farm on the map, I guess you really want us a way to scale into the late game, right? So, like, you know, there's not really much pressure on you to be pushing out lanes. You know, you need this blink necessarily. You know, the Batrider's got most of that done.
They see the Medusa again. They want to go for her under shock. Is he aware, though? He's playing right under the shrine, so it's going to be a tricky kill.
Yeah, look at the Shadow Demon's path.
Yeah, he's coming around. Is he going to be able to get it in time? Nope, she pops the shrine, but this is early, considering the disruption comes out, but here come the TPs. They're just holding back for the time being. Now that Batrider's here, they're going to back themselves away. Lol, he's looking forwards, though. He's got this lasso. See if he's going to use it on anybody. Actually, just slow him down to keep in the middle of everybody, making sure he can't connect and make that lasso play. And Batrider will be forced back. Meanwhile, up at top, Beastmaster's a little bit on the run here. It's Archangel and Plantimus ganging up a little bit on his creeps here. And they'll take both the boars. Bit of money, always nice.
I don't know if you know, by the way, but if you get disrupted next to Shrine, you actually don't get the healing effect, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's not in my nature, but...
Alright, so coming up on that 14.5, and I really don't feel like the side of the Radiant are really putting enough pressure on Black Hornets.
I mean, they're trying with this Monkey King, right? But this Batrider's just destroying the game at the moment, it feels like, for them. Who's getting another kill in the bot lane?
Yeah, this is problematic. This Batrider's making a ton of space for side of Black Hornets, and Medusa and the Wraith King kind of just making money. And now they've got a Blink Dagger on Wraith King, they're probably going to be wanting to fight as well now.
Yeah, they're just out farming them on the dire side at this point. Like especially in the supports. Like if you look at the Batrider net worth compared to the Grimstroke,
exactly.
Like, which one of them is doing more?
Yeah. And which one's doing more, and which one's having more money as well? It's the same answer.
I would have really liked to have seen the Batrider pick up a blink before the drums this game. I think it felt like if you just control the Monkey King in these fights, like they're really going to struggle to win them on the Radiant side. Especially now he has this Diffusal coming up. That's very scary for the Dire.
TT leading the charge, just walking straight past the Abaddon as Blink comes in, stun out onto the Beastmaster. The Sentinel, they're going to buy them a little bit of time. The Roar now comes out in before, waiting in the trees. They're going to get this kill, and with the Diffusal as well, they're going to rip through Plantimos and not allow him to respawn. But Monkey, he's looking for more, but I don't think he'll find anything more. Now they need to get some objectives, though. They've taken a kill. Now they need to find themselves some heroes, some towers.
Yeah, they do, but it's not easy. Slusa just needs to carry on farming as well. Like, you have to be worried about this primal split coming through from the Brewmaster as well. And if you're the Dire, I think you just dodge fights until this Brewmaster gets at least the Vlad's online. Like, he really needs his level 12 as well, really. Just to... Oh, Brewmaster might be in trouble as well.
They had to throw out the split, which is already kind of costly, but then again, they're just trying to make some space. The BOTs and the lasso onto the Sven here, with Plantimos coming back to life. He can throw down the stun. They're all looking towards the Sven, but the Boundless Strike going to buy him a little bit of space to try and run himself away. He's not going to die immediately, but I think dying all the same, he might. Just trying to pile as much damage off into him. He's actually getting away from this one, but the Snake finds him. The Snake gets him, and down goes the Beastmaster as well. Black Hornets chasing forwards. They have to back themselves away, but there's nowhere to go. Dodgy caught on the high ground as well. Stun comes out from the Wraith King. That Blink Dagger paid itself off so badly in that fight.
Yeah, this is just before the Deucer hits level 15 as well with the Snake talent. And how annoying is that to play against? I mean, it's only going to get harder from here. That had to be a winning fight for the Radiant, it felt like. And unfortunately, when your Sven gets caught out of position a little bit there and he's about 1,000 gold off his BKB, that's a big worry. I think when that brew pop split, you just have to get out, which they tried to do, but I don't know if you saw the Batrider BOT'd in on a creep and they used the glyph to stop the Radiant from killing the creep off.
The Monkey King's
very smart
gratitude
play.
is worth more than gold.
So smart. Wonder what Wraith King goes for next. I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible idea to me to go back for that Radiance, but then again, with the Shadow Demon on the enemy team, it always feels a bit bad to basically give the enemy team a Radiance sometimes. Oh, jumping down onto the Grim Stroke, no hesitation from Philanthropos, but the Wraithfire comes in. The two heroes backing him up. Yeah, look at that Snape just ripping through, destroying two of the mana pools just straight up. They just cannot fight now. Say that. I was still looking to kind of defend this Roshan as the Batrider caught out by a disruption. The rest of the team getting in position. Have they got the damage to kill him before he makes it onto the high ground? They're just going to flat out throw down the Roar as Archangel actually gets the ultimate part from the high ground, it looks like there.
Yes, this is really good by the Radiant. They need to try and take a fight while the split's down. There's still 30 seconds without it, and with this medallion on the Beastmaster, they're trying to take Roche. It's very difficult for the guys to get into the pit without the Batrider. You know, he's the mobile core.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the mobile hero on the team. The Wraith King has a blink, but it's not easy.
No, it's a bit crazy as well, because you get every possibility you just get your mana like chunked away by the Diffusal Blade. But Medusa comes to the front line, the stun comes down. This is a great target to bring down, and Doji won't have much of a chance. They're gonna have to use the Wukong, so the Roche's already low. They're actually gonna get Roshan. He's not picking up the Aegis though. He got something put in his inventory. He had a clarity. Whose is that? It looks like it's his own. Just a complete fumble there. And now the Monkey King is gonna die. That is a disastrous mistake, as the rest of the team will crumble. Black Hornets, they get given the game on a silver platter. It's hard to underestimate how much that is gonna hurt them in the long run.
The Deucer didn't pick it up though, she denied it. So unfortunately for the Deucer, she didn't get it. But at the same time, if you stop the Monkey King from getting it there, that's the biggest thing. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there with the items, but that was, like you say, a bit of a fumble.
Someone had given him the clarity.
I don't think you can give items to enemy.
Well,
heroes,
I mean,
right?
I didn't mean an enemy. I meant maybe a teammate had given him a clarity or something and panic. I don't really know. But yeah, that costs a lot.
And this Deuce is starting to get really scary now. Like when she gets this butterfly online, look at the Radiant cores, they're all physical damage. So we talked about this in one of the other series about effective HP. Like this butterfly's going to be massive for her.
Yep.
It's looking good for the dice side.
I want to hear the voice comms when that happened.
Well, we wouldn't understand.
Pick it up! Pick it up!
So.
I can't! What do you mean you can't? I imagine it was something like that.
Nothing.
Blade Mail.
How do you say pick it up in Russian? Can chat help us?
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't trust them.
No, don't. don't read out anything chat tells you to. That's rule 1 of casting.
Sorry, chat. We tried.
It's just the minority that ruin it for everybody else.
I don't know if you saw the Brewmaster use split as soon as it came off cooldown as well in the pit. It was so close. Because the Diffusal from the Monkey King was starting to chew away at his mana in the Wukongs as well.
Right, yeah. Gets lucky with that one.
Yeah, and now that, like, the way that this game's folded out now, that there's a Deuce and a Wraith King, they're both farming really well, and Brew has a Midas. So, like, going into the late game, this dire side, look, they're having a great time.
Yeah, all 3 of their cores just farming phenomenally. This Mortal Strike from the Wraith King actually increases farm so much. Like now that people have discovered that its farming potential, it's just kind of been changed from this spell which was kind of used just to push exclusively, and now to just farm up super. That goes on the front line. Panzerverse is like coming up with it, but he's just like, oh, never mind. See you later.
I mean, I'm sure for the die this isn't great, but like, is it the end of the world? It's just a Batrider. Deuce is still farming. If the Radiant can get something out of this,
drawn
this
away.
is huge.
Yes, but I mean that's been the whole part of this game. Maybe Abaddon goes down as well. The 5 position and the 4 position. You know, the math still isn't looking great.
Yeah, all cores are still farming. Yep, this bird really needs to get fixed. It's so annoying just seeing it spaz out while it's under vision. Just like the wings are flapping like crazy.
Yeah, I told you, it's our hummingbird. Hawks fly very similarly to hummingbirds. It's a little known fact about the world of nature.
Here come the skeletons top lane. Did he? Oh, he hasn't got to the talent yet.
Get him, boys. Oh.
Yeah,
he's
I'm
really
assuming
underleveled
he'll
on this
take.
ranking.
I'm assuming he'll take the strength this game just because there's a Sven, but he could go for the skeletons attack damage still.
I mean, usually when you're not the number one position, then the skeleton attack damage becomes a lot more appealing. But
Regenerate.
it kind of gives you like another function.
I think you just want to survive this burst damage that we've been talking about, like by the Sven especially.
Yeah, when he
He's
gets
gonna
to level
wanna rip
20
through you.
talent, that doesn't matter.
I think you still want to be as tanky as you can, though.
No, just die.
Okay, fair enough. Just die. Is that advice for every game, or just...
Well, raking every game, yeah.
Okay.
Most
Dusa has
heroes-
the butterfly now. It's looking pretty good for her. Sven's queued up an MKB, but he doesn't have any kind of mobility. Like, he has no blink. So he's very reliant on his team locking them down to get his damage off. And unfortunately, when you're against the Abaddon, with the Aphotic Shield to take off the Roar, it's not quite as easy as that for the Radiant.
So now heading into the kind of mid-game here, I would say. And things looking very good for Black Hornets. I mean, when you have the team with the Medusa and when you're ahead, it always feels nice, especially when it's the kind of this early on before the Medusa is really a big factor in the game anyway.
Yeah, it's massive for her. And I think when she gets the Skadi online next, you can start kiting around these melee heroes like the Monkey King and the Sven. I feel like she's going to be really difficult to deal with. Oh, this Dusa. They did get the disruption off, but...
The response comes in quickly. Black Hornets not letting the Medusa go down so quickly, but the double roar comes out, but immediately broken up. Ice Angel who lets him go with the shield, which allows Medusa to get the Stone Gaze off. That's actually sick. And now they look to turn this around, and well, Black Hornets, they might lose their brew, but even then there's still one alive, which they're just going to shield up. Lantimos does die once. Looks like he might be dying twice, but no, actually doesn't. And now turns around with a stun onto the Sven here. Well, again, also backing up the Medusa. They haven't been able to do a thing right now. Completely impotent on the side of Black Hornets. Two of them get stunned up, but it looks like the Sven should be going down all the same, and now they get that lasso off onto the Shadow Demon there, just stopping getting off any kind of disruption. They're both going to drop, and that is a wonderful fight from the Black Hornets there. I just want to go over that little play again with the Medusa, because that was amazing. So they get the double link on the Abaddon and the Medusa. Then the Roar comes in, and he just pops Borrowed Time immediately, freeing himself from the stun. Then turns around, Aphotic Shield onto the Medusa to wake her up from the stun. And then she just shoves down the Stone Gaze. And when everybody's going to attack these two roared targets... Oh, wait a minute. None of them are Stone Gaze.
Yeah, that's why we used to see like Abaddon as a position 3 up against heroes like the Magnus as well, quite a long time ago now. Where you would just basically just run in and sit on the front line. And you didn't care if you got RP'd, because you could always, like you say, use the Borrowed Time to wake yourself up, then use the shield to save somebody else.
Precisely.
But you see the problem with the Radiant lineup here is that they have to get the numbers advantage at the start of the fight. If they don't get the numbers advantage, all of a sudden your Wukong's runs out, your God Strength runs out, and the Dire just turn it around completely. And it's really difficult to do that when you're up against Shield with the Purge, the Stone Gaze to delay fights as well. Like the Wraith King has his reincarnation, you can't bring him down instantly. It's very difficult.
Monkey King was up top, but failed to go for these runes here, looking to maybe play onto the Batrider, but he sees the Abaddon behind him. He's like, well, that's not really happening, so just has to let all the runes go for free. And that is 100% rune gettage from the Black Hornets.
I just want to point out the Wraith King's talent. Only because I was right. If you'd have been right, then I wouldn't have pointed it out. But...
If I had been right, you wouldn't have a job.
Yeah. That's very true.
Meanwhile, another play, another pause.
Well, that was an auto pause though this time.
Yeah, somebody just connecting. So look like they just got a cheeky one down at bottom. Maybe the Brewmaster getting a little bit ahead of himself, pushing down this bottom lane, having some fun, and just a disruption into some TPs. Easy peasy. Not sure what they're saying, but I assume it's something along the lines of, I'm really enjoying this game so far. I do hope you are too. Could we possibly unpause? And then there's a cat face. So, 25 minutes in now. It's a 7k gold advantage for Black Hornets. They've taken both the big team fights we've seen so far very convincingly. What hope is there for the side of Colizeum?
I think... I was gonna say, I think they're going to swing it, but they need to try and get single pickoffs here. I think if you're the Radiant side, like use this raw, because if you ever take a head-on engagement, playing into this Deucer now is so difficult. Like she's almost got the Scarly. She's about 1,000 gold away at this point, and it felt like only 2 minutes ago I said after she'd finished the butterfly she needs to go for a Scarly.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, you've got the Shadow Demon. You know, you can make your own Medusas. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, you can.
If you get close enough to actually disrupt her rather than just dying on the way there.
Like she has the man to be able to like make it more difficult for the illusions. Like the Shadow Demon rarely ever managed to get the disruption onto the Deucer anyway. Like it was only because it was at the start of that fight they got it off last time.
Alright, so it's a straight up tower trade here. Both carries are getting both the tier 1 towers.
And there's the Scarly.
There it is.
Oh boy.
On the shock is a chunky snake. I went into fat shaming, but that is one fat Medusa.
Like, how does the Sven ever get his damage off against the Deucer now when she has ways of just controlling him with the Stone Gaze and the Scardy as well?
Yeah.
He's just going to be moving around like an absolute snail.
It's a conundrum. There goes that disruption. Oh, I get our own Medusas. I mean, does a lot to herself, especially with the Shadow Demon. They actually get the leash off and they finish off Dodgy. Now comes in the link onto the two of them, but Archangel's is handing in behind. Yes, I do want to wake up my Medusa. Thank you very much. Now the damage comes in from the Sven, trying to fight up here. Medusa actually needs to back herself away. She gets the Stone Gaze off just in time, just before she runs out of mana. And now looks forward, but I'm surprised they're actually running forwards here. This does seem a little bit risky. Disruption comes out once again. In comes a Monkey going onto the Medusa here. The damage coming through. Can they bring her down in time? Undershock surviving through it all, but no, will drop. Now gathers down the Beastmaster as well, and they're trying to pound into the Batrider with the illusions. Now Phantomus does get the blink away. Monkey King looking towards the Batrider here, sees him in the tree line, closes the gap and gets another kill. So finally, looks like Colizeum will actually take a win here as Cheshire Cat just jogs himself out of this one.
I don't really know why the Dire decided to carry on taking that fight after the Stone Gaze went off, because your Deuce was sitting about 200 mana at that point.
Yeah.
Like, you have to respect the damage
back away,
that can come
and
out.
they didn't take advantage of that. I mean, admittedly, the catch is really good on Colizeum. You know, they can run people down. It's a possibility, but I mean, I still think it was really weird to try and turn on that one, especially when the amount of jump they have. The Monkey King up in the trees is able to jump on the Medusa so quickly.
Especially when, like, if you have no mana and you have raw HP, we've all seen what Sven can do to other heroes. Like, you're effectively playing a normal hero without a mana shield there, and he will just rip through you. Even the Monkey King as well, like you say. You've got to respect that.
Well,
I really...
at least it's now looking like a slightly closer game. I still think Black Hornets are in a very good position, but Roshan is now up. All right, Monkey King, let's see that inventory cleared out. Oh, they're not going to go for it whilst Medusa's on a 5-second cooldown.
Yeah, that's super risky there.
Yeah, no split might have been tempting, but
There's a big item coming out from the Beastmaster soon, which is the Crimson Guard. Up against the Deucer, one of the better items you can have available. Really good against the Wraith King as well, especially with all the skeletons. There's not a massive amount of burst damage coming out. And obviously they can purge it off with the Storm Panda on the Brewmaster. But even so, it's still a nice item to have for your team.
yeah.
Especially if you can burst the Brewmaster down before he gets that split off.
Yeah, that Brew Purge is so annoying here when you're coming into a team playing like, guys, don't worry, I've got the I've got Crimson on you. You're invincible.
They got the lasso.
Oh, they find the bat. They can't get it down the trees. The Monkey King being beaten down. Dodgy is already dead, but they're looking for the Monkey. But Monkey just turning it around with Boundless Strike, running through the trees, but well on top of him here, and they're going to get both of these kills. Undershock cleans them all up. The Snake consumes more heroes. Looking forward to the Arcana and Medusa, where we get to see the outlines of the heroes kind of moving down her body as she digests them like they do in real life.
But I'm worth so much more.
I'm glad you don't work for Valve.
Yeah.
That would be horrendous. They should go for Roche here on Dire as well. Yeah, we're moving into the pit. There's an Arcane Rune as well.
Oh. I think you need to buy back if you're this Monkey King. It does not feel good, especially taking a 4-on-5 fight into the pit, but at the same time, giving this Medusa an Aegis sounds even worse, but they're going to try for it. Feels like the stage in the game where they're kind of just hoping for a late game miracle instead. I mean, they've got the Sven, he's a strong boy.
It's not just the Aegis as well. It's the cheese as well. Like, oh, how many times have we seen this in Batriders though? Like, they just outscale the enemy 4 and they just end up doing so much. It's like another core on your team. And, like, this Batrider's just done so much here. It's just anytime you get a lasso onto the Monkey King in these fights, it feels like they're just over.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You killed a Deucer once. You killed a Deucer once because they made a mistake on the dark side. Are you going to kill them twice?
Radiant's
Very
middle
tricky,
tower
yeah.
is falling.
And you know, the once they did manage to do it, it was with the Monkey King and the Wukongs and everything coming down, and all those spells from the Grimstroke as well, all coming down.
Disruption.
Everything. Oh yeah, the disruption, of course. Lightning doesn't strike twice. But Beastmaster doing his best. Oh, he might get lassoed here. Yep, that's going to cancel out the TP. Dragging back towards Cheshire Cat here as he gets on top of him. The Roar comes down onto the Brewmaster, but it's not going to do much to save the Beastmaster's life, as a battle of the Masters is probably going to end in the Beastmaster taking a fall as Cheshire Cat just smacking into the guy's bum. Just
Get him.
run away. And there we go.
There's just so much catch and reach available on this Batrider. Like, it's crazy. This boar's just running around the trees trying to juke the Brewmaster. It works.
Radiant's
It lives.
bottom tower is under attack.
Good job, Paul.
They're going into the base here, actually. Wow.
Yep, I'm not surprised though. This disruption really is annoying for the Medusa.
You've got to be careful of these Deucer
Phalantimos as
illusions.
well, yeah. Phalantimos! Phalantimos! Ooh, nice shield from Archangel. Going to cost him his ultimate, but still. Yeah.
I love this pickup by the Shadow Demon, though. He goes for the Aether Lens. We've talked about it's really important you get that disruption off onto the Deucer, because that's where most of your damage is coming from at this point, right? I'd love to see at the end of the game how much damage the Shadow Demon's done.
I believe you don't actually see it from the illusions. Is that correct?
Or maybe. I assume you must
I think
do,
it's
right?
no, I think it's one of the weird ones where you don't, although I'm not 100%.
Deucer's got Aegis, just sits on the high ground here.
Yep.
Skeletons are thwacking the tower too.
Yeah, they can come with the disruption. Ooh, they try to go for the pick. They've got an lasso, but they don't quite make the connection. Undershock just trying to back himself out here. They're running pretty low on mana, though.
No, don't worry. Snake hit 2 heroes, so she's back to full.
Very cool.
Question is, I'm sure you probably don't, but do you go MKB on the Deucer just to help deal with your own illusions? Ooh, they're going in.
Yeah, this is a big commitment, but they just kind of want to defend the Medusa if she brings down this tower. The stun's out onto the Brewling. Or the Brew, who cares? They're going to smoke, which immediately gets popped by the Brewlings, except for the Monkey King and the Shadow Demon on the sidelines here. So,
Yeah, if people don't know, the smoke only gets popped from the Earth Panda, because that's the one that the main heroes, attributed to.
the attributes to. Good word. I was going to say impregnated with, but yeah. No, Plantimus looks like he's going to get his first life ball down. No, Cheese comes in. He's got the Blade Mail as well, doing a fair amount of damage. Force him back here. The Soulbind comes out, and Undershock is well and truly out of mana.
Oh,
Double disruption. Okay, alright, that's pretty mean, but he's going to play with his life as he's dragged back into the pit of death. Gets a return kill onto Archangel. These Medusas as well just going to town right now. Palantimos trying to run away, but the Medusa illusion is doing so much work. Another one as well in the trees. Medusa just killing her own team right now. Batrider trying to back her up. He's got Firefly in 1 second. That's about all he can do. He's also got a Force Staff as well, which he can maybe use to get the Medusa out of here, but now the Manta comes out. Stone Gaze as well, and can probably TP away from this one. As Batrider, he wants to gem.
Oh no!
What?
He didn't have invent slots.
What, it just poops out onto the floor?
He tried to pick it up, yeah, and it just goes back on the floor again.
Oh. It's been a recurring theme of this game, hasn't it? Inventory slots.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if you noticed as well, but the Deuce is picking up a Lincoln's, so all of a sudden...
Alright, thank God no more disruptions. The teammate's going to be very grateful.
It's not even just the disruption, though. It's the Roar as well. Like, the two big forms of getting on top of the Deucer are both just gone now.
But, you can always just soulbind the person next to the Deucer and then roar that person. That will all penetrate through the Lincolns.
Easier said than done, though.
Easy. No, what are you talking about? I could do that. Let me get in this game and show them.
Okay. This isn't a turbo game, dude. Come on.
Tribute to my house.
This is a real game.
Oh, lasso out. This is a dead Shadow Demon, and if this guy doesn't have buyback, which he doesn't, this is going to be definitely a high ground push, because this Shadow Demon was doing so much work for Colizeum.
Yeah, without the Shadow Demon, it showed. I'm struggling to see how they hold high ground.
Oh no, we can't use Medusa against herself. Show's over, boys. Pack it in. Here we go. The snake slithers. And the base trembles. And now it shall crumble also. TP's coming back. Monkey King up to the trees. He's got a Wukong's, which he's thinking of throwing out. Will do so. Now can start to drop onto the Medusa. Look at how quickly a mana's just disappearing here. You have to force stuff out of the Wukongs, but this Sven is going pretty deep onto the Wraith King, who's really left behind his whole team. They're going to be able to bring him down, but look at just plink, 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 and your melee axe is gone.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks.
Monkey trying to look for something. Oh, he gets a TP cancel with the Inkswell there. Oh, very tasty. And now up onto the high grounds. Undershock actually gets his Zinkins pop, and they turn around. They've got the Shadow Demon again. So no Medusas for you. The Lincolns coming into play in a big way here as they close the gap onto the Grimstroke now and bring him down quickly also. It's just lining them up, killing them all. And it's going to be a really rough defense from here on out, if there even is defense.
Middle barracks are under attack.
Oh dear.
Radiant's middle
Oh dearie
I mean,
dear.
they seem to have got the game under control a little bit more after that top fight, but Medusa just says, okay, well, I'll just build another item.
is under
Yep.
attack.
And if we kill the Shadow Demon, well, the game's pretty much over.
You need a way to stop yourself getting a certain spell used on you. Just buy Lincolns. Easy. They do seem to have been settled now.
Radiant's top shrine is under
That's
attack.
enough, I guess. And leave the final barracks exposed, but not destroyed.
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, they're fine. They can always just wait for the next Roche if they need to as well. Still about a minute before the minimum respawn. Oh, he's actually got a Wukong's here. That's Stonegates.
And with the roar out onto the Medusa as well, she does get the Stone Gaze off just before her mana runs out. And the Snoke as well, doing a lot of work here. The BKB needs to be popped from the Monkey King as Undershot will get his way out of the ultimate. Look at Time to Reap, looking for a target. Will find the Abaddon, and he just gets critted to death. Meanwhile, the rest of the team still trying to fight it up here, but it's not really looking like a protective environment as down goes the Brewmaster. Palantimos also held back. They're going to get themselves 2 heroes as Undershot runs himself away. Luckily, the Medusa survives. The big one gets out, but still quite costly to lose your Wraith King like that.
Yeah, they seem to be getting this strongman syndrome again, where they think they can just take fights whenever they want. Now, as soon as this Stonegaze comes out, you've got to be so careful.
Haste.
Like, that's a lot of your control just gone.
This a climb back for the Radiant. They got a whole high ground now. This could be a bite back, but with the 2 buybacks, there is a possibility for a cheeky turnaround.
Monkey loses all his mana.
Yeah, goodbye.
Good start.
The buyback from the back comes around. Lol looking forwards. He's got the Blink Dagger. He's got the 4-staff as well. But,
This poor
jumping
Hawk's
into a
dying to
sleepy
fire. Oh no.
F.
Dire's top shrine is under attack. Dire's top shrine.
Maybe this Batrunner could build a Crimson.
Dire's top barracks
Might help.
are under attack.
Or even just a BKB, actually. Or another Lincoln's.
I feel like they need
Something
another
defensive.
4-staff. I'd like to see Abaddon getting another force. I don't feel like
Abaddon's not
one-
getting anything this game, by the way, so there's no point hoping that he gets items. This hero's so annoying to play when it gets to the late game, right? Because you're literally, well, not even just the late game, the whole game, you never have any items because you don't farm. Like, you have no way of farming. It's not like you're a Shadow Demon or a Grimshot, you can push out lanes. Like, you're literally just a purge. You just follow your carry around the whole game. So boring. I cannot begin
Don't call
to...
Purge boring like that. Come on.
Oh, come on, man. That's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth.
Clip it.
Dire are scanning.
30 seconds until Roche is up.
Yep, Black Hornets scouting around with the smoke. They want to hold them back, and there's far back, and then there's literally sitting in your fountain. Look at these guys.
Dusa has no buyback.
Oh.
Which I'm sure at this stage in the game is a big mistake.
Yes. Where did you use it on?
Mjolnir.
Oh.
So, like, it's nice,
I mean, yes.
but all of it takes is a silly mistake, which we have seen from them this game. You know, there's
Yep.
been a couple.
So you turn that mana shield off.
She's still 1,000 gold off as well. You know, they've got to be careful.
Yeah.
The Radiant do know this Roche is up, by the way, because they have the Hawk in the pit, so they might look to smoke up sometime. Yeah, here we go. They just use one here.
And Radiant's actually suddenly picked up on the Brewmaster as well, also throwing his Out the window is there. So that Lincoln's popped from Undershock. Be careful, but they get the lasso onto the monkey as he's trying to get the Wukongs off. In comes the Soulbind, but it's not enough to save the monkey. He does buy back immediately to try and get into this one. Now they look towards Sven, trying to get onto the back lines. He's actually on top of the Medusa now. He can do some serious damage. So he doesn't really do anything at all. He's actually completely stunned up by the Wraithfire Blast right now, trying to get himself out to the sidelines, but Undershock goes down. Plantimos also being beaten down. He needs to get himself away. He's got a reincarnation, but they've already won this fight. There is no Medusa for 100 seconds, a blink away, somehow made from the Wraith King, but all it's doing is buying time. Let's see what they decide to go for after this Wraith King dies.
What am I watching?
This is he gets a buyback.
Okay, just
Yeah, must have
that's
a couple
so
of kills.
close.
No, it came from the kill on the monkey, and I think someone went to get bounties. Yeah, the Bat Rider got the bounty rings, which got her a buyback. But
Ooh.
good lord, that was some yeah.
And the thing is, for the Radiant now, you now have a win condition. And I didn't say it before, but the Wukong's command ring on the Monkey King makes this game so much easier for them. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the Medusa could kind of kite it around before. I'd love to see her get her own Hurricane kite, to be honest. But, you just need to keep your distance from these two heroes, like the Sven and the Monkey King, right? And like you say, you would like to see a 4-staff on the Abaddon. He's not going to get one, so somebody has to.
Yeah, they need more than just one. Like one was I think more than one was needed before. Now you need like 3 or something. This Medusa cannot be inside this Wukong's. Like it's not doable.
Okay, so Monkey King uses buyback as well. We talked about the Medusa buyback. He has Aegis, so it's a little bit safer for him. But this Medusa has to play so scared for like the next 6.5 minutes now. It's unreal. Why is the Wraith King building a Mjolnir as well? Like, what's the need?
Yeah, I mean, does it trigger bounces on Wukong's command? Like, I don't know how that interaction works, but I'm fairly sure it doesn't send lightning around all over the place. And even if
Maybe
it does,
they want to just clear through the Medusa's illusions from the Shadow Demon quicker. That's the only thing I can think of. Like you say, with the Mjolnir active procs.
Should they got to start thinking about a Sven now? Like the Wraith King doesn't have
Dire's
enough
bottom
armor
shrine is under
somehow
attack.
to really deal
he
with
has
the
an AC and a blade now,
maybe
so
he does
can
actually.
just
Yeah.
come out. Like, he's not doing any damage, it feels like, in these fights now.
All right, 70% physical resist.
Dire's
We'll give him a
bottom
pass on that
shrine
one.
has fallen.
But, like, look at there's a Crimson and a Solar Crest on the Beastmaster, so... Like... you try and kill people on this Medusa and the Wraith King, but you're not doing any damage. Oh...
They go in, trying to get the Wraith King here. He's got a second life if they can keep his mana pool afloat. It looks like they will be able to, although they're jumping in close. They really want to get this first life. They're actually keeping alive. Nice toggles from Palantimos as well. She's going to try and pop the Wukongs here. Decides against it. No, we'll go for it. Sending it deep into the base. So now they can't really come forwards until this Wukong's out, but at least it's on cooldown. I think this is actually a bit of a win for the Dire right now.
You have to be careful on Radiant now. You need to get out here. I really don't think... Oh, they have a refresher
shard. Yeah, it comes in. The split comes down. Do they know about this? They actually get the lasso. That is a huge lasso. Should they be able to finish off with the damage? But Bat Rider, he's bringing him away from everybody here. Finally, they get him deep enough to get the kill, but in comes time to reap. He's looking to get that damage off. He's got the good strength as well. Looking for Undershock, and then comes up second Wukong's from ImbaTV. He's beaten down Palantimos. Back Archangel can't do anything here. He's just getting mana taken away by this Wukong's here. He should be able to get out though, and the blink from the Wraith King as well every single time. Absolutely perfect from Palantimos. This is pretty impressive from the Dire actually, as they're playing around perfectly. And now they jump in again.
More.
2 Wukongs wasted. They want to make the Radiant pay for this one as a Bat Rider all on his own. No Soulbind target just yet. He's just trying to run down the Grimstroke. Stun comes out onto him. Palantimos and Bat Rider will certainly get this kill. And now they're running down the middle lane. They want to be able to look for a little bit more blood here, but there's nobody else around. Everybody got themselves out. The Monkey King got to a tree, also sneaking up this DD and a haste rune, by the way.
They see the Shadow Demon though. They might want to go for more here.
This would be a huge pickup.
Brewmaster taunts in very menacingly.
Yeah, he's ready to roll, rolling on that barrel, but unfortunately, the Shadow Demon does make it back up to the high ground, yeah. So
the Bat Rider has really bad night vision, so he didn't see anything.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
Could not see
games
the,
like
the
this,
Shadow Demon.
You have to look at the buybacks. And right now, we see nothing on the monkey, but Sven still has his. Beastmaster still has his, and the Brewmaster and both the supports still have theirs. So that means no buyback on Medusa, no buyback on the Monkey King, no buyback on the Wraith King. So really in a much better position for the Radiant when it comes to those buybacks.
I'm really surprised how much damage the Sven's doing in these fights. Obviously, not because he does bad items or anything. Like his items are all damage, but they're locking people down to get this damage off from the Sven, like we talked about before. And I'm not really sure how he's managing it. Is he just like running in with Warcry and going crazy? Because he hits hard now, especially with the Solar Crest from the Beastmaster as well, increasing his attack speed.
In this rune, I mean, it's something, but yeah, I feel like Black Hornets need a lot more to take this fight. When's the next Roshan? Next Roshan speeding in 3 minutes. I mean, who do you give the Refresher Shard to on Black Hornets? Maybe the Wraith King.
I'd probably give it to the Bat Rider for this double lasso. I think that's the most important thing at this point. Like, it pierces BKB as well.
Yeah.
Like, you really just need to control up the 2 cores on the Radiant side.
And unironically, you can grab the monkey and double force him outside of his Wukong, so it's that important to get that down in some situations.
He has a Shadow Blade on the Bat Rider as well, wow. Really all about that initiation.
It's just nice to be able to hang back undetected in some situations.
His Shadow Doom is massive as well, like he has his own Shadow Blade as well. Like, where's that come from?
Dire are scanning.
He's just there to get this disruption off. Surprised he hasn't bought his own Lincoln's popper, like a halberd or something. Imagine that would be quite something. Okay, somebody needs a toilet.
Fair enough. I mean, where you need to go, you need to go.
Yeah, true. Nature's cool. 47 minutes into a game, I guess that's all right. So,
one thing we haven't talked about actually, we've seen it in fights a lot, is this Soul Catcher against the Deucer. It's HP removal effectively, like it's pure. So it just takes away your HP without even thinking about the mana shield. So Deucer's losing so much of her HP at the start of every single fight whenever the Soul Catcher hits. And he's even taking the talent cooldown as well at level 20, so it's up even more. This Deuce has to be so careful.
everything, like, it looked so secure for Black Hornets earlier on. We were just kind of waiting for the game to end, honestly. Like, when you have these Medusa games and you take these 2 lanes of racks, you know, we were literally just kind of, oh yeah, are they going to take the final racks? No, they're going to leave it. They're going to go and play it safe, whatever. Like, we were very relaxed about everything that was going on there. And now we got to the stage where I think Colizeum are in a better position. They've got the buyback on their Sven. And yeah, Medusa is nowhere near her buyback status. I mean, I think it's rapier time, honestly.
I think so as well. They took a couple of really silly fights though on the Dire side. Which, when you're playing this Deucer when she's 6-slotted, you know, you're buying time for the enemy team. You want your Deucer to win the game when she hits her 6 slots before the enemy carries hit their 6 slots. Unfortunately, she has not done that. And she also didn't take the mana talent as well at 25. She took the modifier talent, so she's not as tanky as these level 25 Deucers are in other games. I can't wait for this. I really hope this Abaddon gets the AoE miscoil because it's so funny. Have you ever seen it? The sound it makes is horrendous.
It's ear shattering.
Oh, there's a DD.
But I mean, how can you ever click the miscoil compared to the Aphotic Shield health?
Here we go.
I mean, admittedly in this game, the Aphotic Shield health probably gives you about 1/20th of a hit from Sven, but
you still always take the Aphotic Shield health, I think, apart from if you want a meme. Miscoil's hilarious, but
do you like a good meme?
They're so scared to push up high ground
it's like
here
the
now.
Campfire, isn't it? Just there's this one little vision up on this plateau. They're just like, oh. Everybody's scared of everybody right now. They're kind of losing their nerve a bit in this game, especially now because it's like a best of 2 as well. You know, it's so much favorable for the team that wins this one to be able to just run through and finish things off.
Medusa's got the boots of travel queued up. I feel like you go for the Moon Shard first, but I guess if she wants the TPs constantly available, it's always nice to have.
Oh, it looks like they might be setting up something here. Colizeum,
Yeah, they're playing
gathering.
around. They're playing around their vision on the high ground as well. Both teams, like you see, they're just hugging them.
It's literally like fires in the night. Don't want to head out into the dark. Don't want to go past that line.
You have to play around your vision, though, right? Like it's so
course.
important. Have you seen what the Monkey King's got queued up as well? Could be absolutely massive. Like we saw it in the last fight, and it did quite a lot of work, even though it didn't end up working for them overall.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Does
maybe
he have
this...
a mana pool? He does, easily.
Yeah, with the Skadi, with the Echo Saber, he's fine.
Yeah. Juicy.
We got some big 25 chance coming up at some point. I guess the Shadow Demons is huge if you can get the 2 disruption charges on the booster.
Oh yeah, that'd just be the easiest Lincoln pop in the world, wouldn't it?
And Beastmaster's getting to the level 25 as well, so he could go for both. I mean, the Hawk's cooldown just gives you so much map control. You can have like 6 Hawks up at the same time, I think it is. It's pretty bonkers.
Roshan still not spawned yet. 1 minute 30 until Roche is going to be in this game, and that will change everything. These teams will be forced to stop playing around each other right now. We're nearly at the stage where absolutely everybody in the game has buyback as well. 50 minutes in, and this game is not going to be going anywhere.
Why do I feel like in the next fight, everybody's just going to use buyback, and then we're going to have to wait around again in another 7 minutes for everybody to have buyback again?
It's feeling like one of those games.
All
I mean,
the
that is the nature of Medusa. Oh, stunned up in the front lines here, banking himself away, force-stuffing out as well as Plantimos trying to go onto the Monkey King here. Monkey King's absolutely fine though. He's going to throw down the Wukongs. They need to get themselves out. The Dire just lose Plantimos. Sven is just on top of him, and look at him chunk him down. He had a blade mail on, and Sven just didn't give a shit. Now they're on forward looking for more. In comes a damage. Black Archangel up onto the high ground. The Boundless Strike coming out as well. Now clearing themselves out. Archangel will just about stay alive here. Not a hero worth hanging around to kill off. As the buyback comes in from Plantimus, that is what they're after. But look at LOL, he's hunting. The Bat Rider is searching. He wants to lasso somebody, but nobody is making themselves an easy target. And, well, they still claim this Aegis area. The Roshan pit around it belongs to the Black Hornets.
Oh. Okay. So we've got a buyback used. This is really big for the Radiant side.
We have one, yes, and it's on a relatively important target as well.
Oh, he has the Reincarnation Caster Wraithfire Blast talent though. He just hit 25 on the Wraith King.
Yeah, it's nice, as long as the person who's killing him isn't a BKB.
Imagine if Vampiric Aura worked on range heroes with
Are
the
they
Deuce.
really giving away this Roshan though? That's my question. Like,
I think they're just scared of this Bat Rider just jumping somebody all the time. Like if they want to do this, they have to smoke. Yeah, they pop it here. Like it was under the Dire Creep
they're
Wave.
going to get there quick enough. They need to be really fast. They've got the Shadow Poison to scout it out, but they don't really have any blinks to come into this one. Even the Soulbind's going to split stuff out. There comes the split from... Oh, pick up the Aegis. Somebody grab the Aegis. They're not holding it. Undershock, he's... Finally, someone grabs it, and it is Plantimos who takes it with the Refresher Shard as well. Oh no, DSR no longer. He's got the buyback though. Shadow Demon just straight up uses his. So we currently have a game with a Wraith King with an Aegis and a Refresher Shard. So yeah, death is my bitch.
Here we go. Shout out to Mav again. All he needs the Refresher Orb now. We get the 4 lives. Maybe 5 if he can hold on to his ult twice as well.
Yeah. Why not just get a Refresher Orb and call it a day? Just go and hit their fountain. What can you do?
Yeah.
Monkey. Pretty far forward here. They've got the lasso up onto him. This guy has buyback if they can bring him down, and they certainly can. No chance of survival here, as Brewmaster just fording everybody off from the back lines as well. Sven unable to find the jump. He's got the God Strength there. I mean, this Sven is absolutely chonky. He is enormous.
Yeah, the Satanic for the status resistance against the Lasso and the Stone Gaze is really key here as well.
The board just comes in and hits Medusa. David and Goliath. Drops dead in one. That was a big hit. The crit from the Sven was not messing around on Medusa there. Did he manage to get it back up to the high ground, defending it up here as the buyback from the Monkey was forced. So now we have a Monkey buyback. We have a Wraith King buyback. Of course, Wraith King not so much counts considering he's got a million lives. As if the game wasn't enough to make you insane going 55 minutes in, but we've also had this Brewmaster taunting literally the entire game. Like, full credit to Cheshire Cat. He has not stopped. From minute 1 of this game, he has been just spamming out that taunt. Good lord. Looking onto the high ground there. Split actually used from the Brewmaster. Just looking to zone everybody out here as they throw the Sven up into the air. He's not going to be effective for the most of this fight right now. They actually bring it back down. The Roar comes out. Oh, Wraith King. Oh, Wraith King. He's going to lose his first life. There goes the first charge of his ultimate. He's run forwards. Walled down again pretty quickly. There goes the Aegis. Refresher shards come in. Meanwhile, the racks are just completely gone. They throw in the Wraith King. They lose their barracks, but they... For God's sakes. And there we go for time number 4. Palantimos is finished off, but you did lose to Mega Creeps as well now. That was quite something.
It's actually just the reincarnation that does.
Goodness me, that was a lot of time. However, the Wraith King is now dead for 100 seconds. This is going to be a tricky defense for the Black Hornets. They have to somehow hold this high ground, and Abaddon's also holding on to 2,400 gold. He's got 1,700 spare for buyback as well, so I'm not sure what item he's going to get. What could he get which would make a difference this game? Snake's thrown out there onto this high ground right now. They do have buyback on this Medusa. They need to save her as in comes Sven, going for the damage, just trying to bring down the Medusa as quickly as possible, but she pops the Stone Gaze. It's going to force them all out right now, and it looks like there's not going to be any result from this. They try to stun up a creep to just stun up the Medusa next to her as the BKB runs out, but it doesn't quite work. Time to reap. He's going for the throne. He's going for the game right now. Tier 4's under attack as they jump themselves in. Look at the lasso though. They've got themselves a Monkey King, but where's the damage follow-up? Undershock is not there. Deal the Monkey King. He needs Gallons off him now, but he's got the Wukongs off. That extra armor coming in. Medusa, she's trying to fight it up. She's out of mana though. The Monkey King though, he's actually trying to fight himself back. Now he will pan it into the Medusa. Medusa is dead. Buys back into this one. Everybody's taking the throne. The throne is going down. The throne is dead. Team Colizeum will take the first game versus the Black Hornets. They beat the Medusa. The mother is destroyed. And in a 56-minute turnaround, Team Colizeum will win it. Goodness me. 56 minutes into this game, a 29 to 32 kill ratio. But I mean, just look at this graph. Absolutely favoring the side of Black Hornets in the end there. But yeah, Team Colizeum take the victory. What a turnaround. I mean, it all came down to just the call to go through the throne was perfect there. And without Palantimos, that's 23.2k of your net worth just completely gone. That's your initiation. That's a hero which was taken to the front lines. And dragging that Monkey King back and then not having the damage to target him down, like, you need to drag him to Undershock. You can't drag him to the middle of nowhere where he's going to be able to get his Wukongs off. And once that Wukongs comes, it doesn't matter how much damage the Medusa has. He's got a ridiculous amount of armor to go through. So there is no way that Medusa is killing him inside of his Wukong's command there. So the Monkey King just kind of proven to be the bigger carry in that situation, that little kind of bubble there, which really did make the difference to the game. We hear Mo kind of struggling with his mic in the background.
Oh, is it still bad?
Oh, there you go. Hello.
I was going to say, I feel like this Beastmaster level 25 changed the game. He built an axe as well. I don't know if you saw. And it was just shoving people all over the place. I think he took the attack speed talent at 25. I can't see. Oh, yeah, he did. Okay, yeah. The Beastmaster.
Yeah.
And it just helped with that push so much. Like, the Sven bought a refresher at the end as well, just to refresh his God Strength, especially. And I don't really know what these Mjolnirs are about on the Dire. I'd love to know.
No, they didn't seem to. I mean, I guess it's magic damage for the Monkey King when he's attacking you, but it really didn't. Yeah, it didn't feel like a lot.
I'm sure if you have split shot procs modifiers, obviously the Mjolnir is really good, but isn't Daedalus or MKB just really good as well?
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest with you, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and this time it crumbles in Coliseum's favor as they too take the victory versus Black Hornets. The Undershock just not able to do enough on the Medusa to hold them back off that throne. So, coming into game number 2 now, Black Hornets have to recover from this pretty hefty defeat. So, a big emotional battle for them to climb. Got to keep their heads in the game and try and hold themselves up versus Coliseum in game number 2. Alrighty then, we're going to throw it over to a quick break, then we'll be back with the next match. My name is Nomad, he's MoFarah, and we'll be back very, very soon.